Your Highness, we really must discuss the situation with the Japanese.
Go on.
My Tsar, we must reconsider our war efforts, for our men are in serious trouble. It takes them too long to get to the front in Korea, the railroads are ineffective, and our soldiers are ill-equipped. Losing the battleship hub Stiovskev has seriously hurt their morale. The Japanese are winning battle after battle, and our men are beginning to doubt their mission.
You are caught up in hysterics, Countweight. Surely you cannot be seriously worried. As you know, I am an army man myself, and I understand the unbreakable spirit of my men. It's true, the Japanese were unusually tactful with our battleship, and while Russia is quite extraordinarily expansive, we are more than capable of protecting her. I have no doubts in our ultimate victory.
Yes, but sire, at what cost? Good Russian families are already giving their blood at a furious rate. They're showing signs of strain, and they want the bleeding to stop. They want a say. They want their Duma. And I'm afraid they may rise up if you don't listen.
Sergius, I can't believe my ears. You know as well as I do, our people ought not to govern. They don't know how to govern. I was chosen to govern, they know that, and they love me because they know I'll do what's best for them.
But sire, the people are trying to tell you the fight for Korea is nonsense.
Oh, my dearest Sergius, I love him like a son who loved his father, and because of that I ought to tell that age and stress and many other things must have in excess which cause a man to lose his common sense. I know that 15 years ago, when father sat upon the throne, you surely never fret about this long act. I dismiss this as delusional. Defeat is inexcusable. I think, old man, it's time to take a nap.
Nikki, these gray hairs show more than age. They represent the time I gave to first your father, now to you. And in that time I've seen many a crime waged upon rulers deemed divine, so I feel I must warn you too.
off, will not say die, until victory arrives upon his side. For 100 years and never a defeat. I don't intend for me to be the first to choose to flee.
How many more soldiers can you send into the death before our people get to land?
I think the people would feel greater rage if that advanced on burning flames we are forced to cede our land.
Our army is sure to lose its morale, as they all are slaughtered thoughtlessly like cows.
You believe what I ask is slaughter? I rule not as a tyrant, but a father to the largest and most glorious of families on earth. And for every casualty, I feel responsibility, but also pride in knowing he died for our land. Every single Russian life is sacred. Every life lost pains me to no end. I respect you, Sergius, but claims you've made have quite insulted me. So I must kindly ask you that you go.
Nicholas, you're a stubborn man. Your mother would be proud.
What are you doing here?
I'm here to deliver your child.
How glorious! Another girl, I presume? Yes. Tell Sergius to organize the 301-gun salute for the birth of a future Tsar.
Yes, of course. Congratulations to you both.
You'll be the Tsar, mother of a Tsar after all, my love.
Well, Nikki, I wanted nothing more. I'm so happy. Nikki, he's beautiful.
He takes after his mother. Poor son. I can't believe he is before me. I can't believe that he is resting in your arms after all the time we waited for him, Lord. I never doubted you would bring me a resplendent future Tsar.
Nikki, you're too much. Besides, I'm sure your mother will find out the mission himself.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me at all. I don't like the color of his eyes. What kind of a Tsarevich is born this plump? And when the people shout his praise, they'll proudly say, Alexander! Your father's name?
How many Tsars must be named Alexander?
Have you ever heard of a Russian named Louis?
He could be first.
I don't think so, love.
Well, do you have any other ideas, darling?
You know, I've always liked the name of my uncle, Alexei.
Alexei? How regal.
Alexei, you keep the Romanovs alive. I am now certain that the motherland must thrive, so my son will have an empire to govern. Our country never has been stronger than I feel it is today.
Nikki, he seems unwell.
Oh, come now, all babies cry. This is normal. You remember what a terror Tatiana was in her early years.
Yes, but I feel better if the doctor saw him. Call him, please.
Before your soulless, of course. Doctor!
All right, I think that I know that Alexei's hurting, but we certainly won't do that again. And that is all I need to see. Would you please follow me into the hall? Alexei must get some rest.
Yes.
Of course. Well, Doctor, now you see why I called.
I do, my Tsar. I'm afraid the injury is much more serious than I had thought.
Oh, come now. It was merely a slight fall.
Unfortunately not. You say Alexei's injury happened only yesterday?
Yes.
For his wound resembles one that has been bleeding for weeks. Now tell me, you say also that Alexei sometimes develops unexplained bruises?
Yes, all over his arms and legs.
Well then, I'm afraid my diagnosis is certain. Alexei is afflicted with hemophilia, a rare disorder that prevents wounds from clotting normally. Our Father,
Well, how do we treat it?
with much rest and care, it is imperative that Alexei avoids all physical injuries. Even a minor trauma could take months to heal.
I see. And when will you bring the boy his medicine?
My Tsar, I am sorry to be the bearer of such bad news, but hemophilia has no medicine and no cure
That you know of.
that anyone knows of.
I will find someone who does.
I'm sorry, that person does not exist.
Good doctor, do you know every person on earth? How can you be so sure? I will find someone to help my son, much more than you ever could.
Sorry, I understand.
Dr. Mazarov, please. I believe you heard my wife.
Of course. I am truly sorry.
Nikki, what will we do?
It's a wretched disease.
If only I could bear his cross. I'm his mother. I can barely watch.
It hurts me just as much. I will pray to God. I will beg for him. I refuse to believe we are helpless against Alexei's pain.
We can't be. The Lord will find a way to make our baby better. I'm sure of it.
Your Highness, Count Witt has arrived.
Very well. I'll be right there. I'm afraid my country calls, though right now I wish it didn't.
Bite your tongue, Tsar Nicholas. The boy knows how much you care for him. Russia must see how much you care for her. We will pray to God to help Alexei, and he will answer us. But your people pray to you. You ought to answer them.
You are a saint, my darling.
He cries, my boy, my baby, he cries, and I watch
Beccie's cry has captured my mind. You need to see him.
Do be quiet. You don't want to wake him up.
Of course.
Tsar Nicholas, are you there?
Yes, Sergius.
A word, sir. We still have more to discuss. May I come up?
Very well, let's go to my office.
Nicholas, our conversation downstairs was far from over. Why did you leave?
My apologies, Sergius. I was preoccupied.
Nicholas, you mustn't run from our country's problems. Russia is angry, sir. Dangerously so. Rebels have already murdered your uncle, and there's an even larger mark on your head. How can you refuse to even discuss strategies to quell their rage?
My good man, is your memory truly so poor? Not 5 months ago I agreed to award the people their Duma.
And the people almost immediately saw its uselessness. It can make no laws, it can decide nothing, and you ignore its advice. What good is a parliament without any power?
I don't understand you, Sergius. You seem to suggest we dismantle our entire regime.
Not dismantle. Reform. The regime needs reform, Nicholas. Drastic reform. It needs what I wrote about in my manifesto, not the inept Muscovite outfit that you've created.
How can you say that with such absolute certainty?
Nicholas, please sit down. Let me refresh your memory. In January, Father and his men marched to peaceful protest. Our old palace on protest. They fell like flies with their guns and knives, frightened and betrayed. The people's anger grew as you let Russia bleed that day.
Sergius, you attack me very boldly for things that I have neither said nor done. You know as well as I do that if I'd been there, the massacre would never have begun.
But you weren't there. The massacre did occur. The people don't care how or why it happened. They just know that it happened. In February, half of a million good Russian workers said they had enough. Our Tsar, they cried, he doesn't care, so we are packing up. They went on strike, they caused a scene, our cities were stopped short. And this just added to your loss of popular support.
Sergius, you attack me very boldly for things that I have neither said nor done. You know as well as I do order's been restored. The people feel they are no longer shunned.
Nicholas, you continue to surprise me with your illusions. Nothing has gotten better.
But people shower me with praise. How can you say this?
In March, we lost the railroad. In April, lost the war. We've imprisoned many thousands of the rebels, but there are still many more. They want a Tsar who listens, not a Tsar who will recede. They want a Tsar who helps them, not a Tsar who lets them bleed.
Nikki, please come.
I will be right there. I must go to my son.
I will not leave until something is done.
have to wait!
I fear for Mother Russia like I've never feared before.
How many sweet and lovely maidens, how many sweet and lovely names. Ah, there is only one that thrills you, robbing you of garments.
Can I help you, sir?
Well, very much so, miss.
Oh, Kunyetsa. Eva Kunyetsa. Pleased to meet you, sir.
Call me Grigory, madame. May I ask what you were serving?
Medavuka, sir. I'm about to prepare another tray. Would you care for a glass?
Oh, too sweet, too weak. Tell me, Eva, do you think our Tsar might have anything I would enjoy drinking?
Well, sir.
Grigory, please.
Yes, Grigory. You have yet to tell me what drink you would enjoy.
Eva, what kind of drink do you think a man like me would enjoy? Do you think a man like me would enjoy tea?
No.
Do you think a man like me would enjoy wine?
No, Grigory. Strong men don't drink wine.
Do you think a man like me would enjoy a nice, strong glass of vodka?
I think that's exactly what a man like you would want.
Eva, beauty, do you think when you're done serving the medavuka that you could find me with 2 glasses of vodka?
2, Grigory?
Well, of course. 1 for each of us.
I will be sure to. Grigory.
Eva.
Grigory, there you are. I leave you for 1 second, and here you've wandered into the private quarters.
Anna, what are you talking about? I was, merely looking for a drink.
The servers will bring you drinks downstairs. Come now, let's go. Oh, Alex, you must meet my friend. This is Grigory Rasputin of Pubskiov.
Father Rasputin, I've heard of your wondrous work.
Oh, well, I must say I'm quite humbled. The royal family knows of me.
Your reputation is quite widespread, my good man. I hear you're a very capable healer, no?
Well, some might say so. I am merely a guide who helps women submit. To God.
That's one way to put it.
Alex, Grigory is my spiritual guide. He helps me with my melancholia. He has traveled a long way from his village to meet you.
Are you a monk, Rasputin?
Oh, once, a long time ago. But that life is no longer for me. I found the monastery restricting.
Well, what would you say you are, then?
I am but a humble servant of God. I spend my life growing closer to him, and he rewards me with his love.
My good fellow, please.
Nikki, this man has traveled all the way from Siberia to see us. I'd like to hear what he has to say.
Very well, please continue.
My dear rulers, you are too kind. My story is one of faith in God. I trust in him, and he now trusts in me. He gives me hands and eyes and ears and lead me to a different place.
My good man, I don't understand. What do you mean?
My Tsar, I am belongs to no one else. And all your subjects pray to our Lord and wait. But with God I privately communicate. I assure you that my gift is no accident. I prayed and meditated for years, but that was not always so. I was once young and brash, but I was forced to grow up very fast. As I watched my brother and my sister drown, my father used the church for strength, while I would use the church to cry, to cry, to cry. Became offensive. The church was changing me. The Nagoya servant pressed me. I knew his words before he would speak. Our Lord, our God, was calling to me. He told me I was different, but how? I did not know. Lo and behold, I performed wondrous miracles that saved many souls within our little town. My patients caused murders and thieves in their tracks. They saved my poor neighbors from vicious attacks. The villagers called me the magic Cossack. But there was so much more to be known. So I traveled to Jerusalem to dip in my border in God. I wanted to know more of my strange gift. In his great presence I learned. He said I was to be a great healer of man, and through that be a healer of my land. My son, I am unlike any man you ever know, for my gifts will save your land and your I hope to see you again soon, Petushka. You have a lovely palace.
Anna, did you mention Alexei's maladies to your friend?
Of course not.
doubt my upbringing.
Don't be silly. This is exactly how I expected German to die. Wouldn't you agree, Olga?
Nicholas, bite your tongue. Alexandra, I apologize for my childish brother.
No need, Olga. I did choose to marry the man after all.
And she's been regretting it ever since.
Oh, nonsense, Batushka.
You are too kind, Rasputin. And if I may say so, quite the storyteller. Do you have any others? I love hearing about Russia's Great East.
Well, of course, Batushka. I have many stories of Siberia, so you must tell me what you like to hear.
I long to hear a story of wild beasts.
Perhaps one that has fallen to my sphere.
Yes, go on.
When I was a boy, I lost my father, and I left my house alone. And on that day, I had a frightening vision that a wild beast would terrorize my home. The villagers said I was crazy, that they hadn't seen a bear in 50 years. But I saw it there, as clear as day. I knew that I could not explain. There was no way to keep that bear away.
Scared like we die.
And God upon his
I
side.
suspect he may be telling lies.
Know how
Dare you
to
say such things? Please do go on.
Of course, Your Highness. It came at night with the moon high and bright. It battered down our door. Must have smelled the fresh fish and meat that we had hoped to store. I grabbed my spear and food for bait and went to meet my foe. It was at least 2 times my height when it stood from head to toe. I grabbed the cock and threw it down. The bear began to charge. I picked it through a piece of meat. The beast was to be barred. I lunged away to dodge his paw. Threw my coat into his jaw. Felt the wind from his huge claw. He came down onto me. I closed my eyes and prayed to God. In the end, I said unto the bear, I'm sorry you pursued me.
Bravo, Rasputin. You are a true Russian indeed.
You're marvelous, Gregory.
If that was me, I don't know what I would have done.
Well, you are a strong woman. You would have been a worthy adversary to the bear.
I must admit, Rasputin, your story does sound a bit fantastic.
Well, I agree, my dear Grand Duchess. Yet all true, I swear it. Now, I have been telling many stories tonight, and I know almost nothing of you. Tell me, are you married?
Yes, of course. You must know my husband, Duke Peter Alexandrovich.
Ah, yes, of course, my deepest apologies. Are you happy?
That is none of your concern, peasant Rasputin.
My goodness, I'm ready for dessert. Anyone for cake?
Oh, yes, please.
Says the boy who hasn't touched his dinner.
I would love some. Now, Olga, you were saying about your husband.
Nikki, I must say I resent the behavior of this man. It is quite inappropriate.
Alexei, time for bed.
But mother, we mustn't skip dessert.
Maria will take it to you. Now go, young man.
Rasputin, my sister brings up a good point. These aren't things you ought to be asking. I think it's time you left.
Certainly, my Tsar. My deepest apologies for treading on such a sensitive subject.
Nikki, I shall escort Grigory out.
Do be quick, please.
What a rude fellow. And to comment on my marriage? How very...
Deceptive.
Nicholas!
I know, he's a peasant, and he ought not to be asking these questions, but I must admit, there are things even I'd like to know the answer to. Wouldn't you agree?
I most certainly would not.
No need to hide any more, Count Wit.
Hi, Nicholas. I was merely passing through the hallway.
Oh, come on now. Don't patronize me. I saw you standing there the entire time.
And you didn't offer me a place at the table? Nicholas, I'm insulted.
My apologies. I was too busy letting Father Grigory here ruin dinner.
Yes, I did hear some murmurings of that from my vantage point. It sounded exciting.
Hardly.
Tell me, Tsar Nicholas, do you enjoy having street folk strutting around your palace? Is this something that I should get used to?
I certainly hope not.
Well, I hate to say this, sire, but you give me very little reason to believe you.
Oh, come now. You know Rasputin is different than average street folk.
Oh, of course he is. By different, I would claim that he's constantly profane. I surely couldn't see him as a monk. His lack of grooming habits made me wonder if he actually is French. By different, do you mean he's the only man I've seen that could neutralize an army with his stench? For he lives in constant sin, be it vodka, scotch, or gin. I think I only see him when he's drunk. In many other ways he is exceptional. Some of them I simply can't ignore. For he must be quite masterful with women. Every night he's with a different whore.
Yes, if only I could show you. His presence is necessary. He's been sent from God to keep Alexi safe. If you knew, you surely would agree.
Nicholas, I swear I'm open-minded. I'm not about to judge upon first class. And if my list of grievances ended right here, I'd surely let him have a second chance. But what I find worst about this harmful man is grievously hard to portray. And I'm not alone in this observation. We all notice and we're all dismayed. It's
Thank you, Sergius. I shall take this under consideration.
Thank you on behalf of all Russians. Good night, Tsar Nicholas.
Good night, Sergius.
You know, if you talk like that, you're bound to be hanged, Grigory. You're lucky I'm fond of you.
Or are you fond of me because I talk as I do? Good night, Matushka. Have a pleasant evening. Where is that horse? Oh, where is Peter the horse? Alexei, what have you done with my horse?
I don't have the horse.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, you are a magical Tsarevich. You can make things disappear.
I know. Peter is gone.
What was that sound? Did you hear a gallop? Peter! Peter!
Peter is not here. I disappeared him.
My goodness, boys, what is all this racket? What is this doing here? We don't leave toys on the floor, Tsarevich Alexei.
Oh, Matushka! You found Peter!
You boys are just too much for me. Now say goodnight to Grigory, Alexei. It's time for bed.
Good night, Gregory.
Good night, Tsar Magician. Don't you disappear tonight.
How is baby Alexei today, my friend?
You fret. You fret like a mother.
Of course. Nonetheless, is my baby boy in pain?
His smile was as wide as the Volga itself. There was nothing of concern.
Dear Grigory, you are truly marvelous. You do what even the best doctors cannot. I have not felt so calm since before Alexei's birth. How do you do it, my friend?
I pray to the Lord, and he answers me.
Well, you have saved his life. And you saved mine. For 6 long years I've watched this daunting plague bleed my son until he's dazed with pain. For 6 long years he's looked to me in fright, wondering if he has the might to carry on. My baby boy, my darling baby boy,
should crumble and decay. And for 20 years I've had visions that only I could pull us through. With my great sight, my fortitude from God, I stood rule over all. Alexandra, I shall begin with you. Russia, don't you worry anymore. Don't you feel panic anymore. But from this tumult I am sure that you will find the glory you are yearning for. Because of you, Alexandra, your faith and your devotion. Because of you.
My boy will grow to be a man.
You will be saved, Mother Russia. For you believe, Mother Russia. But for my dreams to be realized, I need that gift of your love pouring onto me. Because of you, Alexandra, your magic and your faith. Because of
I must check on baby Alexei. I'll see you tomorrow, Grigory. Thank you.
Ah, Nikki, just the man I wanted to see. I was strolling down Nevsky Prospect yesterday evening, pondering the problem of these Bolsheviks, and I devised some fascinating ideas. Oh yes, Matushka. You see, I believe...
Excuse me, my good man. I have urgent business to attend to. We can discuss your ideas some other time.
Of course, Matushka. Have a pleasant evening.
Alexandra?
Nikki, if you wake him, we'll never sleep tonight.
Oh, what a perilous threat. I'm sorry.
I'll be right there.
Alexandra, your friend Grigory.
Our friend Grigory, Nikki.
Yes, our friend Grigory. He's become a bit too friendly, I believe.
What are you saying?
Alexandra, the man just came up to me, grabbed me by arm, and tried to tell me what to do about the Bolsheviks.
So he's unrefined, darling, but we must accept that. After all, he is a peasant.
Exactly. How many peasants do you know who wander about the castle, calling upon the Tsar by first name?
How many peasants do you know that talk with God? Oh, Nikki, do you remember how you felt on that warm summer day? It had been raining all morning.
Alexandra, that is without question. He's my son.
So be a father, see Alexei as a child, not a king. Be a father, give your boy the candy he eats, care that any man would play to be the son. After evil and like boys, if they know about their fun, who can do what Father Gregory can do? If they cannot prove where is he, I'm expecting him quite soon. Can they please have this man brought straight to you? But I don't think they can do that. I know that they can't do that. Tell me, can they do that?
No, I don't believe so.
Well, then they should know you're a father, and fathers make decisions that will help their sons. So be a father, so that I can be your mother and tell my boy that we can stop the pain. But if what I said would sway you, and you must hear something more, look into your child's eyes. They are saying to you lovingly a message from his heart. Be a father so that I can be one too. Our friend Gregory means well. If you love Alexei, you must love Gregory.
Well, you know I do respect him. As much as any man could, anyway.
So please, Nikki, be kind to him. He will learn to respect you.
Quickly, I hope. Are you packed for Spala, my love? Are the children ready?
Yes, we're ready. We leave tomorrow?
As the sun rises, I hope to be fishing before dinner time.
Alexei, no! Come, Alexei, let's go inside and lie down. Oh, now my future Tsar would know better than to get back on that rock.
But Mother, I want to have fun. Just let me have fun.
After some rest. Come now, let's go inside. Oh, no. This is worse than I thought. Nikki? Nikki!
Yes, Alexandra, did you call? Oh dear, what happened?
Just having fun.
The boy was careless, Nikki. He fell from the rocks and hurt his knee. We must send for the doctor.
I agree. I'll stay with Alexei. Would you mind calling for the doctor?
Of course. Maria? I must send an urgent message.
Certainly, Tsarina. What shall I say?
Dear Dr. Koshka, the Tsarevich suffers from great pains, falling from all wrongs.
You know that he can't do what I can do. You know that he can't do what I can do. You know that he can't do what I can do.
To the Honorable Tsarina Alexandra Fedorovna, I worry there is little I can do. Have the boy stay in bed and rest, massage the knee twice a day. I will be there as soon as I can. Signed, Dr. Ivan Kleshkov.
Maria, I must send another message. Dear Dr. Sokolov, the Tsarvich suffers from great pain. He's calling from Amherst and cannot walk.
You know that he can't do what I can do. You know that he can't do what I can do. You know that he can't do what I can do.
To the gracious Tsarina Alexandra Fedorovna, the Tsarevich suffers from a most mysterious disease, one that I do not know I can fix.
Enough, Maria! I have heard enough! These doctors obviously are no good. Nikki, our men of medicine are imbeciles. They say they can't help.
I'm sure they can do something. They must. Alexei grows worse by the minute. The bruise is spreading.
Well, at least the doctors will be here in a few days. In the meantime, you should get some rest. You've had a long day. I'll be with the boy for the night.
My dear, I hope I can fall asleep. Good night, Alexandra.
Good night, Nikki.
Hush, hush, my baby. I have you.
What has God done to me, Mother?
I wish I knew, darling. I wish I knew.
I'm sorry, Mother. I'm so weak. I'm sorry.
No, you are strong, Alexei. You will always be strong.
But I need Gregory to make me stronger, Mother.
Stay still, my boy. I'll be right back. Nikki, it's time to call on the man we know can help. It's time to call on our friend Grigory.
But Alexandra, I'm worried about what Sergius has warned. His presence is a danger to us all. Rumors of his influence do not help in these dark times. Our name is sullied when he is around.
Rumors, rumors. You condemn our son to die because of rumors. I never knew I married such a skeptic.
If you truly feel there is no other way,
But Rasputin is not a choice. His presence poisons your palace.
but his absence poisons my son.
Do you wish to watch your boy die in my arms?
Do you hope to fall to Charlotte rebel arms?
Be a father, see Alexei as a child, not a king. Be a
Leader, don't allow yourself to beg.
care he needs, care that any man would die to give his son. Master, I can hear your voices if they know that we want. Who can show what Father Gregory to do? If they
Laughter
care
at the
for the ways
mockery
he
of our
wants
allies and our foes, and
the
show
shame
them
his
all
father's
that Russia
country
is
to
strong.
You're a father, fathers make decisions that will help us out. So be a father, so that I can be your ruler, and tell my land that we can celebrate.
Enough! Send the message. I can't bear to hear the boy cry.
Maria? I must send one final message.
Yes.
To my dearest Grigory, the Tsarevich Alexei has suffered a terrible blow. He's fallen from a rock and cannot walk. I beg you, my friend, do anything you can to help. You're the only one that can save my boy. Sincerely yours, Alexandra.
To my Matushka, God has seen your tears and heard your prayers. Do not grieve, the little one will not die. Don't let the doctors bother him too much. Yours faithfully, G. Rasputin.
Tell me honestly, Sergius. I look like quite the general, don't I?
You look splendid, sire.
Why, thank you. Although I admit I'd rather not be wearing this uniform right now. If only General Sukhomlinov had done a better job in Poland.
He is one of the best military men that we have, sire.
Without question.
Highly respected throughout the empire.
Of course. His soldiers fight bravely for him.
Yes, very bravely indeed. I hope that they will fight as bravely for any other commanders that may follow.
I see no cause for worry. They are loyal Russian soldiers, after all.
Yes, but what if their new commander is less experienced? What if they don't trust him in battle?
Go on.
What if, in fact, they don't trust him at all?
You are not as subtle as you think, Count Witt.
My goal is not to be subtle. My goal, as always, is to have you listen.
Congratulations, you've earned my attention.
Well, my sire, I must say, after 20 years of service, that is a first. Nicholas, I feel I've given good advice for every day of every year that you have been a Tsar. I've sat before this very desk and praised decisions that you made that bring our nation and our people pride. But as my role demands of me, I am instructed to declare when I foresee your actions causing harm. And I must tell you, Nicholas, as brilliant as you are, your stubbornness will be your landing death. You refused to listen in Korea, and we were forced to flee. You disregarded my suggestion for reform, and now your empire crumbles beneath.
But I feel you are jumping to conclusions.
Nicholas, can't you see it's happening again? Imagine staring at a wall, 10 meters thick and 50 tall. And you are told that with your voice alone you must devise a way to make it crack. Sir Nicholas, that wall is new. My voice is used and I am through. So I will leave you with one final word and go for good if you choose to ignore. The peasant from Siberia must go.
I don't understand.
The peasant from Siberia, the one who claims he speaks with God, infects the palace walls with his false stench. The people feel he is a demon. They, like me, don't understand why he deserves so much of your regard. There are rumors running rampant in the empire as to why we always notice that low life. Many of them claim, and please excuse what I shall say, that he has been dirtying your wife.
That's preposterous!
Even I have my doubts. The people feel they cannot put their trust in a man that allows such body behavior. They feel that you have lost control at home, and that your country is not far behind.
Sergius, you know I do trust you say what's best for me. What do you propose I do?
The peasant from Siberia must go. The peasant from Siberia must go. The peasant from Siberia must go.
I won't condemn my son to death.
Then you have just condemned yourself.
Nicholas, what's gotten you in a fluster?
My murderous husband, my evil murderous
Alexandra,
husband!
please, let me explain.
You can't explain! You've murdered your son's angel and you'll soon have murdered your son!
He was a dangerous man, Alexandra. We weren't safe with him.
We are not safe without him! Alexei will bleed and die without him! There is no one else!
We will find someone else.
There is no one like Grigory!
Maybe that's a good thing.
What are you saying?
Alexandra, you looked at him like you've looked at no other man.
You are jealous?
How could I trust the greatest womanizer in all of St. Petersburg?
Apparently you can't even trust your wife!
How could I? You spent more time with him than you did with me.
I cannot believe you. Because of your jealousy, our son will now die.
Very generous of you.
Nicholas, I hate to remind you, but this whole castle is armed and surrounded. You have little choice.
I realize that, General. Would it be possible for me to have a final word with my advisor?
Whatever you wish, Sergius.
I see no harm in his request. Give us a moment, please. Well, let's get this over with quickly. I don't want the men to get nervous.
You haven't changed a bit, old friend.
Oh. How so?
Alacrity, efficiency, simple solutions.
Yes, it helps me succeed at my job.
It's a pity it didn't help me succeed in mine. What do you do when you're trusted to completely solve an impossible puzzle? What do you do when you're grievously unprepared? What do you do when all those who surround you expect you to grant them impossible wishes? What do you do when you realize there's no way you can? What do you do when fate comes to you and pushes you down an unusual trail? And then the path splits, you cannot commit your scary terrain, and I can't explain how frightening that wilderness can be. What do you do, Sergius, when you're all alone? What do you do?
I'm sorry, Nicholas, but we see differently again. For while you felt so solitary, I was willing to help you. You let your people bleed and die. You let them father rebel lies. And for that reason, I stand before you now. Nicholas, I wish you had not doubted the advice I gave to you.
I would have listened if I could, if it only were that easy. But if I took your aid, my son Alexei would be buried deep beneath me.
sorry, Nicholas. I wish I had known you were in such pain.
We would not have allowed you to do your job.
My job is to advise you.
Your job was to serve the people. You performed admirably. What's done is done.
Yes, what's done is done. But if I may offer you one last piece of advice.
Of course.
The army men like you, Nicholas. They, like me, think you are a kind man. My advice for you is to take their security.
Sergius, I intend to. Who knows? Perhaps I'll enjoy a simpler life.
I think you will, Nicholas. You're a good family man.
Count Witt, thank you for hearing me right now. I wish you the best of luck.
You as well, Nicholas. You as well.
myself, because if I don't, I'm going to feel like I cheated everybody here out of something. This was a production that I gave away 2 to 3 weeks ago. I gave it to the 36 people that had a hand in this project. 36 people involved in one person's thesis. That's cheating. So, I mean, I gave this away a very long time ago, and I have to say, the entire crew, all of you, the guys in the lights, there's Ben and Beccie in the lights, they didn't get recognized. We got 19 fabulous Amherst student athletes, student musicians. 19 student musicians in this pit did a phenomenal job. We have Jeff and Sam who ran backstage. Thank you. she's still in school, so we have to work around that. But thank you so much. The five principals you see here, as well as our, is he still here? Yeah, come on up. Come on, Michail. Good idea. For about 66 hours on this project in the last 2 weeks. I think it showed. I think you guys did a phenomenal job, better than I could have possibly imagined. Thank you all for coming and supporting this. As always, to my advisors, to my teachers, Sarah, Ted, everyone, they're in the program, but thank you so much. We'll see you at, I don't know, Tim, how long do we need? I guess he's setting up, so like half an hour in Hitchcock. Thank you very much.